All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, whom rule well, teach well, being great example to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem outside. And what I want to get into this morning, dealing with, Yahweh Bashem outside, a righteous judge. We come to the time now is we're going to be in a position, where Yahweh Bashem outside, all right, is going to be the one, that pleads our cause through divine intervention, through aiding, his elect, during the times of chaos. Okay, that's going to be the Lord, pleading on our behalf and eventually coming to make war, with this society, and we have to have the faith, to give our situation into the hand of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, and allow him to be the righteous judge over the situation, and that's dealing with salvation, in the times to come. And that's also even dealing with our day-to-day affairs, where we have to interact, with this society. A lot of people, have these ulterior motives. You run into a lot of grimy. One thing about this society, it introduces you to the grimy, serpent, the subtle, nature of people, in this society. You experience, a lot of betrayal. Your trust is, shaky. you know, you just witness, betrayal either from, the people around you, your co-workers, your, women, especially if you're dealing with a nigga woman, you don't experience so much betrayal, you know, and then you have your guards just extremely up, which you should be circumspect, should be wise, okay? And then there's things that you can't see, that's going on that the Lord sees, and the Lord, all right, always steps in on behalf, all right, of his people and intervene, And I want to get an account to go into that, So when you go to Genesis 30 and all right, this is Genesis 30 and 25. And it came to pass when Rachel had born Joseph that Jacob said unto Laban, send me away that I may go unto my own place and to my country. All right. And, Laban was, the father-in-law of Jacob, the mother, Shalaki, the father of Leah and Rachel. Okay. So it says, give me my wives and my children for whom I have served thee. Jacob, worked 14 years altogether for Laban. And said, I have served thee and let me go, for thou knowest my service which I have done. And Laban said unto him, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thine eyes, tarry, for I have learned by experience that the Lord have blessed me for thy sake. You see, and Laban, he was becoming, more prosperous as he had Jacob, serving him, man. That's pretty much the sentiment of this captivity, especially in America, where a nation will have Israel in captivity and that nation will flourish, but especially here in America, one of the reasons that they was able to rise, to a superpower is because they had the bulk, of Israelites, in captivity, man, and that's how Laban, he pretty much had Jacob in the form of captivity, servitude, and he was becoming prosperous, so he didn't want to let, Jacob leave. You see, and then you're gonna go into it some more. And that's how it is now, like just as ancient Pharaoh. That's why Pharaoh didn't want to let, Jacob go, Israel go. He didn't want to let Israel go because he was prospering, man. You see, there was a prospering and thriving economy, okay, with Israel in captivity, man. You see, and it says, reading on, I'm going to go to the NLT. This is verse 28. It says, "Tell me how much I owe you. Whatever it is, I pay it." Jacob replied, "You know how hard I work for you and how your flocks and herd have grown under my care. You had little indeed before I came, but your wealth has increased enormously. The Lord has blessed you through everything I've done, but now what about me? What can I start providing? When can I start providing for my own family?" Okay? "What wages do you want?" Laban asked again. Jacob replied, "Don't give me anything. Just do this one thing, and I'll continue to tend and watch over your flocks. Let me inspect your flocks today and remove all the sheep and goats that are speckled or spotted, along with all the black sheep. Give these to me as my wages." So Jacob was like, "Look, just give me, all the sheep that are speckled and spotted, along with the black sheep. That'll be my wages, and you have, everything else, you know." And says, "In the future, when you check on the animals you have given me as my wages, you'll see that I have been honest. If you find in my flock any goats without speckles or spots, or any that are not black, you will know that I have stolen them from you." "All right," Laban replied, "it will be as you say." So they made an agreement, you know. Jacob was dealing, they negotiated on an agreement. They both agreed on it. So now, as they finna go into it, Laban finna go with his move. Okay? Laban became, very grimy, shiesty. All right, it said, but that very day, Laban went out and removed the male goats that were streaked and spotted. So he went before Jacob got there to remove all the goats that was streaked and spotted and black. He had his sons to remove them. Okay, and it says, but that very day went out. That very day Laban went out and removed the male goats, and there were streaked and spotted, and all the female goats that were speckled and spotted or had white patches, and all the black sheep. He placed them in the care of his own sons, who took them 3 days' journey from where Jacob was. Meanwhile, Jacob stayed and cared for the rest of Laban's flock. Then Jacob took some fresh branches from poplar, almond, and plane tree, and peeled off scraps of the bark, making white streaks of them. So Jacob, what he did, he took some branches pretty much and peeled off bark, and the branches looked like they were streaked or spotted, you know, because remember all the speckled and spotted livestock, Laban had his sons to come get, so he had plain. Jacob didn't have nothing but plain color livestock, because Laban wanted Jacob to just breed for his increase, for Laban's increase. Okay, but now Jacob is putting the play together. You see, and it was all inspired by Yahweh Shema Shai. We're gonna go into it. It says, and then he placed these peeled branches in the watering troughs where the flocks came to drink, for that was where they made it. So when the sheep would come to the water, the branches was in the water. So when they looked into the water, they would see the streaked, branches in the water. We're gonna go into that in a minute. When Jacob is pretty much doing selective, he's gonna start doing selective breeding. you know. So he's gonna pretty much create spotted sheep, through breeding out of plain sheep. Sheep that had a plain color that was a solid color. Okay, and it says, then he placed these peeled branches in the watering troughs where the flocks came to drink, for that was where they made it. And when they made it in front of the white streaked branches, they gave birth to young that were streaked, speckled, and spotted. Jacob separated those lambs from Laban's flock, and at mating time he turned the flock to face Laban's animals that were streaked or black. This is how he built his own flock instead of increasing Laban's. You see? So now Jacob had these plain colored sheep and goats producing street color sheeps and goats. Okay, and once he got a population of street color sheeps and goat, he was able just to continue, flipping their livestock, man. Okay, he put a play together, man, and then Mr. LeBron, going with his move, man. That's another thing as Israelites, man. Hey, you gotta peep game. It's another thing on our day to day, and then ultimately in the time, chaos and the Lord gonna put us in a situation to peep game and utilize wisdom, man. To put plays together, man. You know? So keep reading. It says, um, whenever the strong females are ready to mate, Jacob will place the peeled branches in the water in the troughs in front of them, that they would mate in front of the branches. But he did not this with the weaker ones, so the weaker lambs belonged to Laban, and the stronger ones were Jacob. As a result, Jacob became very wealthy with large flocks of sheep and goats, female and male servants, and many camels and donkeys, man. So Jacob came up. Okay. And when you go into the commentary, this from the Nelson, Bible Dictionary, or the Nelson Bible commentary, Nelson Study Bible commentary, so like it. But when you go into it, and it goes into the commentary on verses 25 and 43 in Genesis 30, it gives the commentary for verses 25, 43, which we just read. It says, removing from thence all the speckled and spotted cattle and all the brown. It says, evidently Jacob relied on a superstition that the offspring would be influenced by the fears or expectations of the mother during pregnancy. So as those female, sheep would see, those branches, in the water, okay, it influenced, okay, because that same water, that's where they made it, So those street, branches that he would put in the water trough, it influenced, the attributes of those offspring, to be speckled, and streaked. You see? And it says, read again, said Jacob relied on a superstition that the offspring will be influenced by the fears or expectations of the mother during pregnancy. Tests have shown that spotting, okay, gives away to solid color in the breeding of goats. Modern genetic studies on dominance and laticity have supported Jacob's method, okay, which at one time seemed to link the Bible with groundless superstition. Jacob's success was also attributed to selective breeding in addition to divine help. Now, we're going to get into the part of the divine help, because what did Jacob get that wisdom from to do that? Okay, let's go here, Genesis 30 and 1. It said, and he heard, it says, and he heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Jacob have taken away all that was our father's, and that which was our father's have he gotten all this glory. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and beheld it was not toward him as before. So he's, Laban, he's seeing how Jacob has increased, and he like, damn, Jay LeBron, like, how this nigga do this, man? Okay, because he thought, pretty much he was gonna pimp Jacob, man. But the Lord had it. Well, Jacob came up. We were gonna go into how the Lord is with it. And Jacob said and the Lord said unto Jacob, return to the land of thy fathers and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock, and said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not towards me as before, but the power of my father have been with me. And ye know that with all my power I have served your father, and your father have deceived me and changed my wager 10 times. but the Most High suffered him not to hurt me. So Jacob was always doing the right thing. He was a stand up guy. He was an upright, in his goings. He was doing the right thing, towards Laban. But Laban, came, with the shade, being shady and grimy, man. Okay? It says, if he said thus, the speckle shall be thy wages, then all the cattle bear speckle. And if he said thus, the ring scrape shall be thy hire, then bear all the cattle ring scrape. Thus the Most High have taken away the cattle of your father and given them to me. And it came to pass at the time that the cattle conceived, that I lifted up my eyes and saw in a dream, and beheld the rams which leaped upon the cattle were ring, scraped, speckled, and gristled, which is spotted. And then then in my dream, this is an NLT, the angel of the Most High said to me, Jacob, and I replied, yes, here I am. Then it says, the angel said, look up, and you will see that only the streaked, speckled, and spotted males are mating with the females of your flock. For I have seen how Laban has treated you. I am the Most High, who appeared to you at Bethel, the place where you anointed the pillar of stones and made your vow to me. Now get ready and leave this country and return to the birth of your to the land of your birth. Okay? Hey, you see, so the Lord intervened in that situation, man, and he pretty much transferred, Laban's, wealth to Jacob, and that's how it's going to be in the times to come. The Lord is finna transfer the wealth of this world into us, man. Because we serve a righteous power. Let's get some precepts on that, okay? And then to show you verse 14, Rachel and Leah responded, "That's fine with us. We won't inherit any of our father's wealth anyway, So Rachel and Leah, they were down with the play. With Jacob, they were like, Laban, he because he's supposed to give, his daughters, don't know, they're supposed to leave with some inheritance, okay? But he was trying to even be, shyster with that. So they were like, pretty much good, that their wealth transferred to Jacob. It was fully down. Leah and Rachel. Okay? Now, let's go here and show you the Lord's going to do that on a much larger scale when you go to Sirach 10 and 8. All right? Sirach 10 and 8 said, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Okay? So it tells you why the kingdom would be translated, because of deceitful rulership, man. And Laban was trying to be deceitful, and his wealth got translated to Jacob. Okay? So we, in the times now, all right, well, the Lord's finna translate the wealth of this kingdom to Israel, man. Okay? Let's go here and prove it. The Lord gonna judge righteously in the earth. You see? Let's go to Revelation 11. Get Revelation 11 and 14. It says, the second woe is past, the second world's war, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And the seventh, which is the third world's war, which, we're right here at, MOTB is going to be mandated, and after that, war, okay, is imminent, is right there behind it, man. The two major prophecies that we await. It says, and the seventh angel sounded, and there was great voices in heaven saying, the kings of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord. That's their translation of kingdoms. Okay? And of his anointed, and he shall reign forever and ever. Okay? So the kingdom is going to be translated, man. And that's going to be righteous judgment executed in the earth, man, because we serve this devil, with integrity, man. Okay? And Esau, he keep moving the goalposts, man, within this system, man. With this systemic, racism and all these things that he has, to keep Jake in his lower state. That's what Laban was trying to do, man. He was trying to keep Jacob in that lower state so he would always be dependent on him, you know? But now the Lord had what Jacob came up, man. Okay? And we on the brink of that now. You see? When you go to Jeremiah 23. In Jeremiah 23 and 5, it said, Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. So it's going to be Yahushua that's going to execute their righteous judgment in the earth, man. That's going to translate, the kingdom, all right, from Esau, Edom, unto Jacob. The wealth of this kingdom is going to be transferred unto us, man. Okay? Now, let's go here. So in the times to come, when Esau gets to making all these accusations, because he's getting ready to persecute brothers, that we see that play, being put together. The Lord will, I can put a video up on that, later on today, but we see the persecution getting ready to come from this guy, It said this Psalm 9 and 8, it says, and he shall judge I started at 7. It says, but the Lord shall endure forever. He hath prepared his throne for judgment, and he shall judge the world in righteousness. He shall minister judgment to the people in uprightness, man. Okay, because Esau's finna accuse us of being domestic terrorists and hate speech, and we're the reason why this happened, and we the reason for that, and it's because of us, and he's finna make us to be the villains, within his narrative, man. Okay? But the Lord is going to judge righteously in the situation, man. Okay? He's going to persuade the masses that we're the villains, man. And a lot of people, are going to go with that narrative, man. You see how easily people are persuaded, especially in the times of chaos, especially when they're suffering, man. The people are going to be easily persuaded, But the Lord going to judge in righteousness. He going to judge the affairs in righteousness. See, he's the Most High judge. Esau doesn't have the last say so. Like Laban, he didn't have the last say so in this situation, man. Okay? Now let's go here. And we have Yahushua for that great example. When you go to 1 Peter 2, all right, 21, it said, for even hereunto were you called, because Yahushua also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye shall follow his steps. Okay? Who did not sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. Okay? Which was his deception. You see, that's why we just got to teach the right thing. Just keep teaching the right thing. Okay? Keep, displaying their right conduct, man. And the Lord going to eventually show who is right. He's going to show who's in the right spirit. And he's going to show who is sincere, man. All that's going to show. You can't fake being sincere, all right, all the way through. Eventually, everything is going to come to the light, man. In every situation, everything always comes to the light, man. It's only so long you can fake in any situation, man. It's only so long you can pretend in any situation, man. Okay? But if we're truly sincere, it's going to show. And the Lord's going to show it, man. You see? It says, who, when he was reviled not. Okay? When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judgeth righteously. All right, righteously. And I'm reading NLT, 1 Peter 2 and 23. He says he did not retaliate when he was insulted, nor threaten revenge when he suffered. He left his case in the hands of the Most High, who always judges fairly. And that's something we can depend on the Lord judging fairly, man. And that should be a faith booster alone just by seeing, the wickedness that Esau Edom is doing and plans on doing, that we serve a righteous power, a judge that's gonna judge fairly. You know, he's gonna judge the situation fairly. He's gonna do the right thing. You know, when it comes to judgment, Yahweh Shema Shai is always gonna do the right thing, man. Okay, so that's what we rest in this ministry, is knowing that Yahweh Shema Shai is always gonna do the right thing in every circumstance, big or small, man. He's gonna intervene and judge righteous judgment, man, in every case, man. You know? So that's the point. Just wanted to bring that out, Lord will you, brothers. And you few sisters edified. Till next time I say Shalom. Kwam Yashala. The Bible Bob DTA soon. Shalom.